The roses are falling as I welcome myself back to my own YouTube channel, and today I am going to be talking about being religious and LGBTQ at the same time, which people think is contradictory and shouldn't even exist in the same person within the same entity. But I believe that they do coexist. God wants all of us to have a relationship with Him. He doesn't care whether you're straight, gay, or not, whatever in between. That's what I believe, and I'm going to get into that today with this hopefully heartfelt story and just some things about being LGBTQ and religious and me being a Christian. So, growing up, church was a huge part of my life. It still is a huge part of my life. Sundays were services, praise and worship, and hearing messages that shaped how I saw the world. Mind you, your boy has been singing in the choir since fourth grade, singing every praise, nobody like you, all those. Your boy has been involved in church. I always grew up in my church. I love my church down. And like I said, it really helped. My church helped me shape how I see the world. Now, a little bit. It helped me shape a lot of it. And it helped me shape myself too. But as I got older, I started questioning my sexuality. That safe space started to feel complicated. See, my church wasn't openly hateful. Like my pastor, whenever he does talk about gay people, he usually tells people not to pass judgment onto them and not to hate them because they're gay, because we all sin. That's how it usually is like, don't hate others because God told you to, not to hate others. God told you to love. That's usually what my pastor says. It's not one of those fire and brimstone places that screamed, "Oh, you're going to hell." But they did say being gay, at least the people in my church said being gay, not the pastor specifically maybe, but that's kind of what he was insinuating with his script, with his sermons. That's from what I know was a sin. And not just any sin, they put it right with murder, stealing, lying, some of these people in my church. And that kind of comparison, it really kind of messes with me still, because it's like, does he really lump us all together like that? Like, me being lumped with murderers, y'all. Me being lumped with rapists, y'all. Just for me liking both, just for me liking men at all, I get lumped with murderers. Like, that's what, like, absolutely kills me. And I started thinking, if this is who I am, then am I wrong? Broken? Am I doomed? I prayed, hoping God would just fix me, take those feelings away. I thought that's what faith required, suppressing who I was to prove my love for God. That's why I did come out till freshman year. That's also why it was the bullying and the struggle with my religion. But over time, I've learned that being LGBTQ plus and being religious are not contradictions. That narrative that you have to choose between your faith and your identity is false, at least from what I've learned. And honestly, it's harmful. Faith is personal. My relationship with God isn't dependent on others' interpretations of how the church frames things. And while I'm still navigating my journey, figuring out where I land, I've started to realize that I can honor both parts of me, even if one is considered a sin. Religious texts, have been misinterpreted for centuries. Verses used against LGBTQ people are often mistranslated or taken out of context. That Leviticus verse where it says man shall not lie with man, oftentimes you hear people say that original text says man shall not lie with boy, as it means God is against pedophilia. But like I said, we would never, like I said in my unpopular opinions religion video, which y'all should watch, we will never know what they truly said. There are actual theologians, though, and scholars who've dedicated their lives to rereading those scriptures with love and truth. And let's be real, queer people have always existed in faith spaces. We've been in choirs, me being one of them, on prayer teams, preaching, teaching, and healing, just often erased or silenced. But we've always been here. Queer people have always been here. Coming out hasn't pushed me away from God. If anything, it helped me get closer. Because when you are finally real with yourself, finally accept who you are, you get to be real with God too. Because God's seen you struggling with your identity. He saw you struggle. He walked with you as you were struggling. He did all that with you. He made sure you didn't think you had to possibly end your life over it, possibly change yourself and stress yourself out trying to live a very worrisome life. He could have, but he didn't. And he is real with us, just like we can be real with him. That honesty, that freedom, it's spiritual. I still wrestle with this. My church doesn't hate me. They love me at my church. They're so down for it. I love dedicating my time to my church, to God. I love dedicating my time. My church definitely doesn't hate me. Probably because they don't outright know. But I'm comfortable with myself. I will defend LGBTQ people in church. It makes me look suspicious. I'm suspicious then, but I will always stand for what I think is right. And that is a tough battle with my religion. But then again, hearing my identity listed as a sin over and over and over again, like I said, and being lumped with like stealing and murder and rape and all these different things, it takes a toll. I'm still unpacking that. Still figuring out how to move on in faith while embracing every part of myself. To anyone else who is walking this line between faith and queerness, you are not alone. You are not alone. You don't have to choose. There is room for your faith. There's space for your story, your identity, and your love. Thank you for listening to mine. And we can all come together and conversate. Let's create spaces for each other so we can all feel comfortable with navigating this journey. Because mind you, it's your journey. You talk to God just like any other person can talk to God. That is between you and him. That is between you and him. Figuring out what he wants you to do for this world, your purpose in this world, that is for you to figure out. I'm still figuring out my purpose. I think my purpose is being an activist and being an environmental engineer so I can engineer better solutions for the people, but I don't know if that's God's real purpose for me. We gotta realize that it's not about everybody else. That's the thing about religion that kills me, is that people think that you really need all these religious people around you just to have some type of relationship with him. You don't need that. Y'all, you could talk to him. Just please talk to him. I know I need to talk to him. I don't talk to him enough. I definitely don't talk to him enough. I barely pray when I eat. And that is a bare minimum thing to do. So please focus on yourself and not these people, not these hateful people. Focus on yourself, because you are the one who determines your relationship with God, not these other people. Not these other people. And be that compassionate, loving person that you are, that I know that y'all are. Be that person. Spread God's love. and be proud of who you are. Don't really stress yourself out over it. You gotta just build that relationship with him. Build it with him, and I swear you will feel better in the end when you cut out all these other people. Yes, religion can be good, but I know that it can manifest into horrible things. So like I said, please don't cut off God because you're dealing with homophobia in your religious house. Don't cut off God because you dealt with a hateful stranger on the street. Pray to him. Tell him, ask him, what does he want from you? What does he want from you as you navigate this world? I need to ask him that myself. We are all in this together. We're all in this together, but it is your journey. And that is how I'm going to end off this video. I hope y'all enjoyed this story. It's not a story, it's literally my life, which is a story though. But I hope y'all I hope this resonates with y'all at some point. I hope this resonates with y'all regardless if you're straight, gay, trans, whatever. I hope this resonates with y'all. And we got this. Let's build our relationships with him and let's spread his love the right way. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow.